In India, both plastic consumption and waste production have increased significantly over the last 5 years. Around 3.4 million tons of plastic waste are produced annually, but only 30% of that waste is recycled. Hello and welcome to MindSync, your compliance guard. I am Swati from MindSync. Extended Producer Responsibility Policy is a new concept in India for managing waste from plastic packaging. When in the year 2016, plastic waste management rules were announced, it became a requirement. Since then, many interpretations of what the law says, requires, and allows have been made. For ease and better understanding, it was felt that guidelines for EPR implementation were needed. Therefore, Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change, in its 4th Amendment to the Plastic Waste Management Rules, on the 16th of February, 2022 notified guidelines on extended producer responsibility for plastic packaging, as per which the producers, importers, and brand owners shall comply with extended producer responsibility, as per provisions under the rules and guidelines given in Schedule 2. This video from MindSync provides a brief overview of the complete EPR registration by producer of plastic packaging. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is the nodal agency in the administrative structure of the central government for the planning, promotion, coordination, and overseeing the implementation of India's environmental and forestry policies and programs. The Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, is a statutory organization constituted under the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, 1974. Further, CPCB was entrusted with the powers and functions under the Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, 1981. Principal functions of the CPCB is the prevention, control and abatement of water pollution, and to improve the quality of air and to prevent, control or abate air pollution in the country. The State Pollution Control Board constituted by the state government and is entrusted for control of pollution of the concerned state. The board advises the state government on any matter concerning the prevention, control or abatement of air and water pollution. Pollution Control Committee primary goal is to improve air quality, promote water body cleanliness, and prevent pollution. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change notified the Plastic Waste Management Rules, 2016 on the 18th of March 2016. The Ministry also notified the Solid Waste Management Rules, 2016, on the 8th of April 2016. As plastic waste is part of solid waste, therefore, both the rules apply for managing plastic waste in the country. Let's have a look on the evolution of plastic waste management rules over the time. Recycled Plastic Manufacture and Usage Rules, 1999. It prescribes the rules for the manufacturers and use of recycled plastics carry bags and containers. To address the issue of increasing amount of plastic waste, the government introduced the Plastic Waste Management and Handling Regulations in 2011, which included guidelines for plastic waste management. The rules directed municipal authorities to set up plastic waste collection centers with financial support from the producers. In 2016, the government introduced the Plastic Waste Management Rules, which replaced 2011 law of holding producers responsible for managing plastic waste in the country. A draft guideline document on Uniform Framework for EPR, 2020, was released. The guideline was to make brand and geography-neutral national framework. On the 11th of March 2021, a draft notification was released to make amendments in Plastic Management Waste Rules 2016. The proposal was the prohibition on single-use plastic on a pan-India basis. On the 23rd of March 2021, Standard Operating Procedure for Online Registration of PIBOs under Plastic Waste Management Rules 2016 was proposed. Plastic Waste Management Rules was amended in 2022, prescribing the use of single-use plastic should be banned or reduced, and recycled plastic should be held into consideration of using pan-India. Ministry with its 4th Amendment to Plastic Waste Management Rules, notified EPR guideline on the 16th of February, 2022. For a better understanding, let's first clear up some key terminology. Plastic packaging are those packaging material made by using plastics for protecting, preserving, storing, and transporting of products in a variety of ways. Plastic means material which contains as an essential ingredient such as polyethylene terephthalate, high-density polyethylene, vinyl, low-density polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene resins, multi-materials like acrylonitrile, butadiene styrene, polyphenylene oxide, polycarbonate, polybutylene terephthalate. Pre-consumer plastic packaging waste or post-industrial waste means plastic packaging waste generated within the factories, or plants, or warehouse, or godown, in the form of reject or discard, at the stage of manufacturing of plastic packaging, and plastic packaging waste generated during the packaging of product including, reject, discard, before the plastic packaging reaches the end-use consumer of the product. Since they primarily increase the industry's revenue, rather than their expenditure, these are currently managed in a suitable way. Post-consumer plastic packaging waste means plastic packaging waste generated by the end-use consumer after the intended use of packaging is completed and is no longer being used for its intended purpose. Post-consumer waste is different from post-industrial waste. For example, carry bags that are discarded by consumers of the commodity after use. EPR emphasizes management of post-consumer waste, in addition for sustainable management of such pre-consumer plastic waste. End-of-life disposal of plastic waste is using plastic waste for generation of energy, and includes co-processing like in cement kilns, or waste to oil, or for road construction, as per Indian Road Congress guidelines, etc. A producer is defined such that it includes any person, or individual, or industry who is manufacturing carry bags, or multi-layered packaging, or plastic sheets or like. Importing carry bags, or multi-layered packaging, or plastic sheets. Importing commodity packaged and wrapped in carry bags, or multi-layered packaging, or plastic sheets or like. Using plastic sheets, or like, or covers made of plastic sheets, or multi-layered packaging for packaging, or wrapping the commodity. Commodity word suggests that all sectors such as pharmaceutical, FMCG, construction, automobile, etc. are included. Under the Plastic Waste Management Rules, manufacturer and producers are used differently. Manufacturer has been defined as the manufacturer of resin, that is manufacturer of raw material of all plastics, for the producers as per the rules. Manufacturer of resin is not included under the definition of producer, and shall apply in Form 3, under registration for manufacturers of plastic raw materials. The word producer, unless otherwise written, would mean to include producer, importer and brand owner PIBO. Producer needs to register as per Form 1. All producers who use plastic as packaging, or as a product to sell in the market, are responsible for collecting and scientifically disposing of the generated plastic waste. This is known as extended producer responsibility, and it is covered under the Plastic Waste Management Rules, 2016. EPR is based on the principle of polluter pays. EPR guidelines covers reuse, recycling, use of recycled plastic content, end-of-life disposal, with respect to plastic packaging. When it comes to handling or disposal of post-consumer products, producers are given responsibility and accountability under the EPR regulatory approach for management of plastic packaging and/or end-of-life disposal. The following plastic packaging categories are covered under EPR. Category 1 covers solid or rigid plastic packaging. High-density polyethylene, HDPE, and polypropylene, PP, are both components of rigid structured plastic. These HDPE and PP materials are used to create a wide range of plastic packaging products all over the world. These solid plastics are used to manufacture plastic packaging sheets and various household packaged products like shampoo bottles, plastic boxes, etc. Under Category 2 comes all the flexible or stretchable plastic packaging of single layer or multi-layer, that is more than one layer with different types of plastic. Polyvinyl chloride, also known as PVC, is a thermoplastic and the third most produced plastic in the world. It is used for making covering sheets for food products, bottles, etc. Category 3 is for all multi-layered plastic packaging, in which at least one layer of plastic and at least one layer of material other than plastic is used. Different layers of low-density plastics and metals are used for making this multi-layered plastic. Multi-layered plastic is mostly used for food packaging, for storing food, beverages, and other products. Category 4 covers plastic sheet or like used for packaging, as well as carry bags made of compostable plastics or polythene carry bags. Compostable plastics come from renewable materials and break down through composting. Low-density polyethylene (LDPE) is a stretchable and flexible type of plastic. It is used for making plastic sheets, plastic packaging films, plastic wraps, dispensary bottles, containers, and many more. The following entities shall be covered under the extended producer responsibility obligations and provisions of EPR guidelines, namely, producer of plastic packaging, importer of all imported plastic packaging, and the plastic packaging of imported products, brand owners including online platforms, or marketplaces and supermarkets, or retail chains other than those, which are micro and small enterprises, as per the criteria of Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, plastic waste processes engaged in recycling, waste to energy, waste to oil, and industrial composting. As per the EPR guidelines, producers have to register through the online centralized portal developed by the CPCB. If the producers operates in one or two states, they need to register with concerned state pollution control boards. If the producer operates in more than 2 states, the producer will register with the Central Pollution Control Board. To obtain EPR authorization for plastic waste management in India, the producer need to follow these steps. Producer must register with the CPCB or SPCB by filling out Form 1. Needs to provide general information, like name, address of the entity, authorized person details, total production capacity, details of effluent or waste generation. Producer must submit for each state the EPR action plan to fulfill the statewide EPR target containing the strategies. Along with the application, producer also have to submit the mandatory documents such as business registration certificate, a detailed project report, and proof of financial capability. Once the application is submitted to the authority, it is scrutinized and reviewed. If any default is found, the CPCB or SBCP will raise queries or reject the application. After submitting the application, the authorities will conduct an inspection of producers' facilities and waste management practices. If everything is found to be in compliance with the regulations, EPR authorization will be granted. The extended producer responsibility target in million tons, category-wise, as applicable, shall be provided by all producers, as part of action plan on the centralized portal, developed by Central Pollution Control Board. The producers shall calculate EPR targets, for current financial year, based on amount of plastics they have sold, in the previous financial year. The same can be calculated as per the given methodologies. Eligible quantity shall be the average weight of plastic packaging material, category-wise sold in the last 2 financial years plus, average quantity of pre-consumer plastic packaging waste in the last 2 financial years minus, the annual quantity supplied to brand owners in the previous financial year. Environmental compensation shall be levied, based upon polluter pays principle, with respect to non-fulfillment of EPR targets by producers. Central Pollution Control Board shall publish the list of producers who have failed to meet EPR targets and obligations in the previous financial year, on an annual basis, by the 30th of September of the next financial year. The details of application fees for EPR registration, to be paid by the producer are: if the plastic waste generation is less than 1,000 tons per annum, the proposed processing fee is Rs 10,000. Plastic waste generation if ranges from 1,000 to 10,000 tons per annum, the fees is Rs 20,000, and if plastic waste generation is more than 10,000 tons per annum, the application fee charged will be Rs 50,000. The producer shall also pay annual fee for processing of returns, which will be 25% of application fees. The producer can reapply along with late fee, and the penalty charged will depend on the number of days after application was not approved. It is necessary to obtain EPR authorization from the relevant authority to manage plastic waste by all the producer of plastic packaging. To get EPR registration for your business, get in touch with MindSync. Stay tuned in our EPR series for our upcoming video on importers of plastic waste. Thank you.